Beautiful broken heart. The story of Hannah. In a quiet corner of ancient Israel, there lived a woman named Hannah, the wife of Elkanah. Though deeply loved by her husband, her heart was heavy with sorrow. Year after year, she remained childless, a painful emptiness in a culture where motherhood defined a woman's worth. To make matters worse, Elkanah's second wife, Peninnah, had many children. Peninnah took cruel advantage of Hannah's sorrow, mocking her mercilessly. Every taunt, every reminder of her barrenness cut deeper into Hannah's spirit. Each year, Elkanah and his family journeyed to Shiloh to worship and offer sacrifices to the Lord. It should have been a sacred time of celebration, but for Hannah it brought unbearable pain. There, before the altar, she saw other mothers with their children living the life she prayed for, but never received. One year, unable to carry her grief any longer, Hannah rose from the feast and went to the tabernacle. Her heart throbbed with unspoken cries as she knelt before the Lord. Her lips moved, but no sound came. Her prayer was wordless and deep, a silent scream from a soul crushed by sorrow. She whispered in her heart, "O Lord of hosts, if you will look upon the affliction of your maidservant and give me a son, I will give him back to you all the days of his life." Nearby, the priest Eli watched her, puzzled. He saw her lips move but heard no voice. Thinking she was drunk, he scolded her. But Hannah lifted her eyes, filled with tears, and said gently, "No, my lord, I am not drunk. I am a woman with a sorrowful spirit. I have poured out my soul before the Lord." At once Eli understood. "Go in peace," he said, "and may the God of Israel grant your request." Hannah rose. Something had changed. Her face, once buried in grief, now carried a quiet strength. She had not yet received what she longed for, but she had been heard. In time, her womb was opened by the Lord, and she gave birth to a son. She named him Samuel, saying, "Because I asked the Lord for him." The joy of that moment could not be overstated. After years of silence and shame, she held in her arms the very answer to her tearful prayer. But Hannah had not forgotten her vow. When Samuel was old enough, she brought him to the tabernacle in Shiloh and gave him into God's service. "Lord," she prayed again, "this is the child I prayed for. You gave him to me, and now I give him back to you." Her sacrifice was great, but her heart was at peace. She had not clung to her blessing, but had surrendered it fully to the God who gave it. Then from her once broken heart a new sound rose, a song. "My heart rejoices in the Lord. My horn is lifted high. There is no one holy like the Lord. There is no rock like our God." This was not the song of a woman who got everything she wanted. This was the song of a woman who had surrendered everything, and in doing so, had discovered joy deeper than desire. Samuel grew in the presence of the Lord. He would become one of the greatest prophets in Israel's history, the man who would anoint both Saul and David as kings. But none of it would have happened without the tears, the silence, and the sacrifice of a woman with a beautiful broken heart. Reflection. Hannah's story teaches us that brokenness does not disqualify us from being used by God. In fact, it is often through our deepest pain that God brings forth his greatest purposes. Her silent prayer reached the heavens. Her tears were seen. Her surrender was honored. Her life is a reminder that God is not distant from those who suffer. He draws near to the brokenhearted, and he listens even when all we have are whispered cries and trembling hands. A broken heart placed in God's hands becomes beautiful, not because it is fixed immediately, but because it is transformed into something eternal.